So I clicked on my image, so it should stay live. Just on me.
It says live on this end.
Yeah, it's going to show your picture at first, but then it should flip to me and stay there.
My nose itches. Of course, my nose itches. You hit live.
Of course it
does. I've been working today on, got a lot of stuff done. And right now, I'm just,
Go ahead.
I'm working on a page just for me, just that I can play with and have fun with. And
well, I was going to share with everybody this morning. I've already got so much stuff done. Hey, the D. So I did get myself to the gym this morning. My back is feeling better. For those that don't know it, my back was bothering me yesterday. Hey, Mary. Hey, Gerda. Lisa. But I got to the gym today. My back is feeling great. I did go down to Hobby Lobby in my sweaty, icky gym clothes, but, you know, who cares? And I've been wanting to go down for a week, and I just haven't had time. So I went this morning before I came home to get ready for right now. And so look what I found on clearance.
Are you serious?
In gold with the turquoise zippers. Yeah, it was, I don't know, the regular price is $34.99 and it was $20.99.
Dang, girl.
And I know, right? And I just double checked to make sure like all the zippers and stuff worked. And I picked up a couple of other things, including like some elastic and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, the bag, I wasn't expecting to buy the bag, but I just leave it there, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, no.
Leave it there. I know, right? It's gold and turquoise, Mary. How could I leave it there?
Open. Just curious. What does it have in it? Does it have pockets or?
Yeah, I'm willing to share. So I got some fabric to do some crafty stuff with, plain white, which, you know, I have every other color on the planet. I didn't have anything that was just plain white cotton. I found this one, which has teepees on it, which, you know, I don't know about the teepees, but the flowers are really pretty.
I like the teepees. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know why I liked it, but I did. And then they had this turquoise one with feathers on it.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, so I had to have that.
Hey, Ian. Then, hey, Mary. Hey, Gerda. Hi, guys. They're all coming
After looking at that blog the other day about making your own mark making tools, I had to go buy some chenille stems because, you know, I didn't have any. So I'll be sharing these.
Because you purged
sharing these.
Got rid of them.
I know. You can't just buy one. You have to have like a million. I had to buy some jewelry things for some jewelry pieces I need to make for my sister. I found this really cool elastic that's like 1 5/8 inches wide, really soft. I want to make some more of those pencil bags that fit around your journal.
Yep. That's a big
so I got that. I got 2 of them because they only had 2 and I really like it. So here's the inside of, here's the inside of the bag. So it has this pocket here, plus this pocket. Let's take all this out. Plus this pocket. And that's just one side. Then there's another side. And this other side has this pocket here, plus these, which come off.
Wow.
And I checked it, and there's like no missing pieces. There's no broken zippers. There's no holes in it. You know, I was like, because these 365 Happy Planner things like don't really go on clearance often.
No. So is it? You said it was Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby, yeah. So I don't know if the gold color is discontinued, and that maybe it's the gold. It's just the gold color. And if that's the case, they might be on clearance at all the Hobby Lobbies.
Sorry, you heard yourself for a second.
So yeah, I mean, I just love the bag. I mean, it's gold and turquoise.
They didn't have 2, did they?
No, Cindy, I would have picked you up one. I know you well enough. They only had 1.
I will have to check. I'll have to go to Hobby Lobby.
And I don't have any other Hobby Lobbies around here. Like, we only have the one in like 100-mile radius or something. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah, but at least it's close enough for you, though.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes from here, so it's not that far.
That's cool.
All right. I was telling Cindy, it's that time of year for me. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's that time of year to make the appointments with yearly checkup at the primary care physician, your yearly checkup at the asthma doctor, your yearly checkup with the cardiologist was born with a heart defect, so I got to get that checked. I'm sure it's fine, but I got to go in anyway. Probably is going to be time for the mammogram soon. So if you guys are putting all of those things off, I know it's no fun. I know it causes anxiety and stress, but just do it anyway.
Yeah, I actually, where I go for the new lung doctor that I have to go see, it's through a different hospital. It's called Guthrie Services, which is out of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I got a thing in the mail the other day from Guthrie, because everything is computerized for them and they have all the records. Well, we see that you're due for a mammogram and you're due for this and that and the other thing. And I'm thinking,
yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. They always,
they just don't have all the records.
Yeah. They want to get you in there for as many things as they can, but also, it seems like all that stuff comes in batches.
It does. But
you can't just do one and be done for a while. You have to do 6 things.
Yeah, it's nice though to get it all done though. Usually May is my month. Usually in May I have to go do all that crap. So
I do think the mammogram maybe is not due right away. I think that's not due for a couple months. I hope. All right, let's see.
Well,
get out a couple of pencils, huh?
Sorry, honey. Just so you guys know, I'm actually not creating a watercolor piece today, but I am working in my journal, so you guys will get to see the video eventually.
And hi, Ian. Hi, Yasna Yani. Hello. Marluen. Hello. Terry. Hello. Kristen. Hello. Everybody, if I missed you, hello. And yes, I agree. This is a really great size. I love this Happy Planner bag. Of course, you can get a bag to carry some of your art supplies around by using a travel cosmetic bag from Target. But this Happy Planner bag is very well thought out. It's nice and big, and I've been wanting one for a while. And I was so happy to see it on the clearance. And I, had to peek around the boxes because they were stocking shelves. And I'm glad I did, because it was behind one of the boxes on the bottom.
Now I'm gonna
go check out Hobby Lobbies if you're close.
Yep, I'm gonna have to go check it out.
If you don't have one close, you might check their website. It might not be on sale, but it might be. I don't know. Gerda. So here's our watercolor journal so far, what we have so far. Some swatches, some tests, and then some different, paintings, experiments.
Kristen and Cheryl. Hi, guys.
I'm still having weird issues with YouTube today. I mentioned it yesterday to people. If you've left a comment on my channel and I haven't responded, I respond to the comments daily, every 48 hours at the outside. Right now, there's almost 30 comments in the likely spam section of the comments on my YouTube channel. Only when I go over there to look at them and click on the tab, there's nothing there.
Did you get
it says it can't open it.
Did you get a hold of YouTube for about that?
I emailed them and I got, a standard response, but I don't know if or when they're going to be able to get back to me.
They'll get back to you. It normally takes, I've noticed, about 48 hours at least. They send you the yes, thank you for contacting us, and then, yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, it's very weird that there's all these comments over there that I can't open. So I don't know what to think about that.
I'd say they got a fluke in their system something.
There's something funny there. I'm going to rearrange my table a little bit because I'm running out of room. Big surprise. I have to move my bag because it's in the
I'm gonna go mute for a second because I need to dry my page. So I'll be right back with you.
Okay. I have printed out a bunch of the photos from the weekly challenge in my year 2017 and also from our inspiration folder. I printed a whole bunch of them out. I wasn't really positive which one we were going to do today. I'm kind of thinking I love this one, by the way. I'm thinking this one might just be great as collage paper on something. So I don't know that I want to paint it today, but I love this one. I do think we're going to paint this one. If you're not part of the My Year 2017 Facebook group, then you need to maybe be a member and look in the description below and check it out if you do Facebook. And Terry, I just saw your message about the storms. Yes, I'm going to echo what everybody else says. Stay safe.
All right. Apparently, I'm not going mute, so I'm just gonna keep on going to my page.
So I thought we would do this flower shape. I found it interesting. So I thought we would work on that one. So I'm going to do a basic sketch. I'm going to just use a plain color pencil. This isn't a water soluble pencil or anything. It's just a plain old color pencil.
Ian, I want to tell you thank you very much for putting the winners, the weekly winner photos by themselves, all in one folder. I really, really appreciate that. Well, thank you.
So it is really funny while I'm doing my little sketch, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see what I'm doing because I don't think anybody can see what I'm doing. There we go. It is pretty funny that I got a lot of comments about the baby. And I appreciate all the lovely comments. But, you know, I did do a shortcut with that baby. You know, if you're not confident in your drawing skills and you don't think that you can draw something like that, use transfer paper. That's what I did. I could have I could have sketched it out, but I didn't want to. So, you know, use transfer paper to transfer the basic shape and proportions, and then fill in the rest of the details with your paint and your color pencils and whatever.
See that, guys? Gina cheats also.
You know, you don't have to always feel like you have to draw everything. I will also tell you this particular flower, if you are in the My Year 2017, this flower is going to come up again next week. So I'm just drawing the basic shapes I see.
Terry, that's a bummer. I know what weather on the body does, and it's not fun.
Hey, Bella, how are you?
Terry says the weather, the front that's going through is hurting her body and more.
Yep.
And they have two more coming through tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, you know, any of us who have any kind of health issues, but especially, you know, if you have something like arthritis or something that's sensitive to the weather, it can just be horrible.
Bella, I like your name. Bella nailed it. I like that. That's cool. Hey, Elizabeth. Hi, decided to play a little bit differently in my art journal today. I'm doing
Nothing
it.
wrong with that.
Yeah, it's a totally not Cindy style. I don't know. I don't know.
I do think I'm going to put that little seed bud thing in.
Ian, yes, to answer your question, remind me later on. I will send them to you after this.
I have to try to. I was watching Mike Deacon's blog before we went live. I almost forgot to go live because I was watching his vlog that he just posted.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about needing to do laundry, and I thought, oh shit, I got to add that to my list today.
I'll tell you, ever since Jeff moved our laundry room upstairs, oh my God, Gina, it's so much easier for me to do.
Yeah.
And now I can also see how much is there. So when I get, a couple loads, I'll do it. And it's just so much nicer.
Okay, I'm going to take a white crayon. This is just a white Crayola crayon. It's nothing special. Don't you love Mike? We all love Mike.
Yeah.
Mike is a great guy. So where I see the highlights on the flower, like on this seed, like right here on this bud, I'm going to color it with the white crayon, and I'm going to add some white crayon there. And I won't really be able to see it, but it will protect that from getting too much paint there.
Sorry, Bella. I feel for you. Being trapped late up in bed, that's just is not fun.
No, that can't be fun. That doesn't sound fun.
It's not. Yeah, I was talking with Mike Deacon earlier. We were talking about building a time machine so that, we could, or a travel machine where we could travel from place to place. You just walk into a booth, push a button, and end up there.
That'd be nice.
And we were talking about where we would go, and I told him, I said, yeah, I'd be at a beach under a tiki hut. And I'm like, you know what? I'd probably stop at some guy named Mike out in the UK.
Right?
And he goes, I'll buy you. He goes, I'll bake a cake. Okay. I can't imagine. Eventually somebody's going to come up with the technology to do that. And do you realize how much money they're going to make by doing it?
Right. I will say it is on my bucket list to go visit Mike. So. So as always, when you're painting any of these paintings in watercolor, you always want to start with your lightest value and work your way darker. With watercolor, you can't take it back. Not easily anyways. So this is my mixed palette, by the way. It's got Quar, Winsor Newton, Grumbacher, Schminke, Van Gogh. I think these big ones at the bottom are Sennelier. Yeah, they are. So there's a lot of different ones in here. That was bismuth yellow, which is a Quar. No, Elizabeth, I'll leave it. And it's not perfect, but it helps make lifting the color easier because the color can't absorb into the paper. And I could push a lot harder with it, but it is one of those fun techniques. You can get a resist crayon to do the same thing. But I like just the plain Crayola because you don't get a perfect white space and it's a little bit more blendy than using what do you call it? Masking fluid. And Ian, yeah, you're our technology brother. You need to figure out how to fold space.
We're gonna
just let you figure that out.
That's what I told Mike. I said, Ian. I told Mike, I said, you tell Ian to get on that, would you?
Yeah.
You gotta stop building steampunk stuff and figure out how to make a booth.
This is a little bit brighter yellow. This is Hans yellow. And when you're doing any painting, you should just be taking inspiration from the photo. We're not looking to copy the photo exactly. That's, if you want an exact copy of whatever it is, hire somebody like my daughter who's a professional photographer and have her take the pictures. There's this bright orange like space of other flowers behind the white one. So we're going to suggest that by just putting a wash of yellow in the background. And I've been painting 2 minutes and I already got schmutz in my plate. What the hell?
What is schmutz?
Schmutz. So you can tell I'm married to a New Yorker who grew up around a lot of all his friends in New York were all Jewish. So we say things like schmutz.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Garbage. Actually, it was lint in the plate.
Ian says he has lots of rearranging his work times. He's got a lot of stress.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. Stress is not good. So I'm going to take 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get some sap green.
I apologize, guys, for my squeaky chair. I will get the hubs on that tonight to get it WD-40'd so it'll stop doing that.
I have to say, usually it's me apologizing, Cindy, because, the picture's bad or we're having a sound issue. Today, everything looks good.
Well, not here. My chair's squeaky. I can't move.
Well, I'm surprised. So I'm going to do the shadows with green. Green is on the cooler side of the color spectrum. And there's a lot of green in the picture. There's green in the background. I'm going to take some of this sap green. It's mixed with a little bit of yellow that's on the palette. And I'm going to put it where the petals are overlapping and there's a shadow. I'm going to put a little bit of the pigment and then I'm going to just come in with a brush with water and or my rag. And I'm going to blend it out. And you can see right here, I'll see if I can hold a flower up. Let me get this blended. You can see where the paint is resisting where the crayon was right there. When you're painting something that's white, the trick is to paint around it.
That sounds like it'd be awful challenging. So knowing me, I'd probably just paint the flower a different color.
Well, you could do that, and you could do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Heather, no. Gina and I are actually on different coasts. She's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast.
California.
And I'm in New York, upstate New York.
And we are getting another storm, or I would say sunny California, but it's a little bit gray outside.
And right now it's, like it always is in central New York, gloomy. Every once in a great while we see the sun. Not very often.
So if you're having any problems with resolution, find that gear where it says quality and check on the highest resolution that it will let you. And that may help clear things up for you.
Heather, Gina and I have got to know each other quite well because we do a lot of Google Hangout time together. So we're always getting pretty much on a daily basis.
And we've gone on a lot of art adventures in real life.
So much fun. I was actually, earlier today I was talking to Aaron. We got to get back out there to see him again.
I know, right? I think Aaron has better eyebrows than I do. And if you guys don't know, we're talking about Aaron from Imperfect Impulses.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who he is, you should check him out. I don't know that he's posted a lot of new things lately, but
not lately, but boy, he's an artistic soul.
Yes, definitely. So you just slowly work your way darker.
Heather, that may be because your Heather says the resolution keeps going in and out. That may be because you have it on auto. What kind of a device are you looking at it from? Are you on an iPad or a PC?
It is sometimes YouTube, you guys, or the internet connection on my end or yours. Just FYI.
Terry says they got more thunderstorms right there now.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Carol. Terry, are you anywhere near Raleigh? Okay, Heather's
So
on her lap.
This is darker green. This is Hooker's green. I'm also noticing, you guys, regardless of resolution issues, that Cindy's getting the comments before I am. There's some comment issues, I think. Again.
I'm not sure how to fix the resolution on the laptop, Heather. Ian, do you have any idea? Hi, Josie.
Okay, that was a lot of Hooker's green. I think that was too much. So get in there with the rag and
I would love to know why they called it that.
Right?
Heather's on 720 resolution. So then it might be the connection, like Gina says, either on her end or on your end.
What I would say is go out and come back in and try that. I can tell you that from my end, I'm watching it on the iPad, which now that I've zoomed in a bit, you can't really see, but it actually, there were a couple of spotty moments, but now it's fine.
Hey, Ian, that sounds like fun. He says, go on a Gina and Cindy fan coast-to-coast trip.
Sounds fun to me.
Heather's asking if your camera, you have it set on autofocus, Gina.
No, I turned the autofocus off. I always turn the autofocus off.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
If I don't, then it's going in and out, in and out. And I don't know about you guys, but it gives me a headache. That's usually the first thing I do when we're doing this is turn off the autofocus.
All right, Heather's going to try to go out and come back in again. Notice my voice is going funky again, Gina?
Yeah, I'm having some asthma issues today.
I've been sucking on my inhaler like it's nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I finally got through to the doctor, and they are going to call the pulmonologist and arrange things for me. Thank God.
Good. I get to go back to see him at the end of April, and that's when he's going to do more tests and hopefully give me an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I think the worst part's just not knowing.
It is the worst part, is not knowing, and going through with the pulmonary doctors, you know, the trial and error of getting you on the right medicine is also not fun.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah. And that's probably what I'm looking at, so not looking forward to it.
All right.
Yeah, Lisa, this allergy season, for those of us who are sensitive to allergies and have asthma, it's going to be horrible. And those that live in anywhere like California where you've gotten a lot of rain, it's going to be horrible. Now I'm just deciding what I want to do next. You know, I have this instinct to put some turquoise in there because why wouldn't I? I put turquoise in everything. I have phthalo turquoise. It's a coir color. It's really pretty. Now the coir colors are really, really bright. Look at this color. That's just a tiny dab out of the pan.
Chat soon, Ian. Okay, Heather went out and came back in, and she says it's better, so that's good.
Okay, good.
And Ian had to take off.
Sometimes it's just YouTube, and there's not a lot we can do about it, unfortunately. Okay, so see, my instincts were right because I added a little bit of that turquoise, and that's just popping now. I love that.
I'm sitting here mesmerized by watching you. All right, I need to get up and do something.
It's a lot of fun. Watercoloring is my Zen place. I get asked all the time about the anxiety disorder. What do I do to, you know, help with that? And I'm happy to share. But, you know, art is my Zen place. Art is the thing that I can do that helps me get out of my own way.
And that's awesome. You know,
and when yeah, especially when I have things coming up like doctor visits that I don't want to go to.
Right. Well, you know, and I think it's nice for anybody that's got some type of a mobility issue or mental illness or chronic pain to be able to get into that Zen place. And I think, and at least in my opinion, that's why we do a lot of art. It's just, it's the best place to be.
And maybe for you, it's not art. Maybe it's something else. But whatever it is, maybe it's actual meditation. Whatever it is, you should do that.
Exactly. I mean, it could be, you know, taking a walk. It could be
whatever it is,
listening to certain music or whatever.
Yeah, Kristen, thank you. Yeah, lung issues are no fun. You know, I have been saying for a while now, you know, I was born with mitral valve prolapse and I've had it my whole life. I'm pretty sure the checkup for that's going to be fine. I doubt there's any change. I don't feel any different. And it's less important to me than breathing. You gotta breathe. My heart is still beating and it's not having any issues, so I'm not worried about that, but the breathing's a concern. And the fact that after almost 5 years, the medication's still not right, it's also a concern.
Well, I decided, oh my God, you aren't gonna believe it, Gina. Last night I cleaned off my brayer. It's actually,
oh really?
Yeah, it's like reddish pink again.
Ooh.
It's kind of scary.
I have to do that. All my brayers, I did purge some brayers, but all my brayers are really nasty.
Well, I decided last night for the heck of it just to clean it off. Lisa says to get 2 boxes of crayons and start coloring. Call me tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with that. That's a perfect thing to do. Coloring, arting, listening to music, reading, going on a walk, whatever it is for you. It doesn't matter.
Google Hangout with someone from the opposite coast.
Yeah. So this is actually dioxazine purple. This is another coir color. Again, look at how bright that is. That's just a teeny tiny dab of it.
I've actually been doing a lot of, sorry.
It's okay.
A lot of reading lately, Gina.
Reading is great.
Yeah, I find that. Hey, Mario. I find that at night, if I read, I can get my mind not to shut off per se, but I can get it distracted enough so that when I shut off the light, I don't have 45,000 things going round and round in my brain.
Yeah.
So I pretty much try to read every night.
Yeah, because I have anxiety disorder, and I didn't know that that's what that was for years, just FYI. My brain doesn't shut down easily at night. It keeps me up. Not to mention the fact that I'm postmenopausal and all of that stuff, so hormones, wreak havoc on that too. But reading helps me, shut my brain down so I can actually get some sleep.
That's exactly what I do. Well, that and I just love to read, so I always have.
Well, yeah, there is that. I've always loved to read.
Can you believe this, guys? I'm actually using up some of my paint hoard. Can you believe it?
We don't believe it.
I am. It's giving me a good excuse so when I go shopping next, I need more paint.
So see, I'm going to hold this up to the camera. Oop, let's see. There we go.
Wow.
So that's the addition of the purple.
So pretty.
And I'm a little tiny bit of paint. And, like I'm always telling any of my students, no digging holes to China with your paintbrush. Just a light touch on the page. You can't take it back. So a little bit of pigment goes a long way. Use a light touch. You can always add more. And because it's wet, it's like bleeding in. Where are we? There we are. It's bleeding into some of the other colors, and you're getting these unexpected little happy spots that I like.
That looks so cool. All right. Yeah.
For those of you who weren't on this week's live kind of art hangout that Cindy does, it was so funny because I don't remember now if it was before she had everybody else come in or after, but she was showing all these different little art pieces that I've sent her over the years. And some of them I don't even remember painting. She's like, do you remember this one? I'm like, no.
I was going, what was I looking for? I don't remember now.
You were looking for something. I don't even know now.
I don't know either.
It was pretty funny. I don't remember some of those.
They were fun though. It's great because I have them from 2013. That's 4 years ago, Gina.
I know, right?
Crazy. All right. I don't like that brush. We need some sponges. I have to tell you, when I come to my paint table, I try to paint with brushes, but I like my sponges so much better.
Anybody just notice what I did? Does anybody know what this is? This is I think you call it a spoolie, but it's an eyebrow brush. It's great for whether you're doing acrylic or watercolor. You can just drag it through the paint and create these lines. No, these are cheap. You can get them at the dollar store. All right. So it's just an eyebrow brush. I have a few makeup brushes. My favorite one are these like eyebrow brushes or eyelash brushes. They make really great marks whether you're working with acrylic or watercolor. They make interesting marks in the wet paint. So you can get these at, of course at Ulta or Sephora or Target, but you can sometimes also find sets of makeup brushes at the dollar store, and they'll frequently have one of these in it.
Lisa, find yourself something to do at night before you go to bed and make a routine of it. Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up. I read. I'm actually reading a series called The Deathlands. There's 125 books in it, and I'm like at 109, I think. And I know that once I'm done reading that, I shut off the light, and I can actually, like I said, my brain, I can calm it down enough so that I can go to sleep. So maybe if you can find some type of a routine every night, something that really relaxes you, and get into a routine of it. I keep saying the word routine, but that's what I've had to do in order to be able to sleep. That and take lots.
That's exactly what I do. I read every single evening. And the reading I do before I'm going to bed is something that I know isn't going to, how do I say this, be too engaging. I love to read a trashy romance novel, but to be honest, it's not so captivating that it'll keep me awake. If I read art books right before going to bed, I'd never get any sleep.
Oh, yeah, because your mind was going 100 miles an hour.
And I'd want to get up and start painting.
Yep. I've been there, done that, Gina.
Yeah. So I can read the stories, and when I get sleepy enough, I'll just go to sleep and I'll finish it, the next day.
Gina knows every now and then I'll ping her at like, I don't know, it's 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock here. And Gina's like, you're not sleeping.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not sleeping. I know, I'm like, what the hell are you doing awake?
Yeah, not sleeping today. But it happens. It's all good.
Now, of course, if you're doing any painting, I'm always telling you guys this, we're mixed media artists. So if you start to lose the white space, don't worry about it. Just go back in with some acrylic paint or a gel pen. I like where this is going, but I'm kind of wanting to darken up the background. So I'm going to grab some quinacridone gold deep. And I'm going to mix it with some of the other colors that are in here on my plate.
Gerda says she watches you before sleeping.
Okay. I hope that doesn't mean I'm boring.
No. She says she watches, I think it's My Life or My Year.
Oh, yeah. I know I watch, those of you who make videos, I watch your videos in the evening generally, or when I'm eating lunch, but generally in the evening, my husband will have, some sports game on TV or some car show or something. So I'm on the sofa next to him, but I've got my iPad going with earbuds in because I'm watching something else. He can't say we don't spend time together.
Oh, that's quality time there now, Gina.
And it's all well and good until he's throwing cowtails at my head.
I still think that's funny. I'll never forget the look on your face. It was just hilarious.
For those who don't know, like I didn't, cowtails are a candy. I had no idea. Cindy said one day to me that she was eating cowtails. I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean you're eating cowtails? That's disgusting.
They're really good, aren't they, Gina?
Yeah, they are good. I agree.
Now and then, of course, I had to send her some, and then Bob fell in love with them. So, yeah, now they have a regular delivery of cocktails.
Well, you didn't hear him what he said to me last night. I said, I'm trying to find that candy that you like, and I said, the markets over here are sold out. I'm not sure where to get it. I could order it for her from Amazon. He says, no, we need to find a market that has some in stock. I might want an extra bag so I can try it.
Let me tell you, he's going to like it.
He's a huge sweet tooth guy. Like for me, I like sweets and all, but I'm happy with, a piece of fruit. I don't, but he loves cake and ice cream and candy.
As long as I have it here, I'm good. If it's not here, I crave it so bad. But as long as it's here, every once in a great while, I'll, have a little bit, but nothing.
Okay, so now we're gonna really. So I have indigo, which is, dark blue. So again, we're gonna just take a little bit. Little bit goes a long way.
Gerda says you're not boring, and she says she dreams about flowers.
Okay, well, that's good.
Elizabeth's getting hungry. You want some candy, Elizabeth?
Yeah, right.
I know in Elizabeth, in your books where you do your daily pages, I love checking out the different candies and stuff that you guys try. And a while back, you tried an Aero, AERO candy bar. I love those. They are so good. It's just a very, very light chocolate.
My favorite candy on the planet is from C's Candy. It is a dark chocolate covered raspberry cream. And that's, my favorite thing. I like raspberry. I love raspberry gelato. I love raspberry sorbet.
See,
raspberry's my thing.
I love raspberry. And I don't mind dark chocolate, but it's not my favorite. I think my favorite is more a white chocolate.
Yeah.
Or a really, really, this sounds awful. I like cheap chocolate. Even like in ice cream. I love cheap chocolate ice cream. I don't want any name brand. I just want the store cheap. I just love it. I don't know why. But as far as candy bars, it's got to be white chocolate. I think that's my favorite.
At some point when I'm painting, it happens every single time. I forget about looking at the reference photo. I just start having fun with the painting.
You're funny, Lisa. I was too. Lisa was raised on a farm, and when I think of cow's tails, it's not good. No, because let me tell you, when you're milking cows and those suckers hit you, they hurt.
Well, when she told me about she was eating a cow's tail. I wasn't raised on a farm, but I was like, what? The hell are you talking about?
I figure everybody hears about those things.
When you want to add pops to your painting, I'm always saying this, think about using some other colors besides black and white. Use like dark indigo, which is a dark blue. Use Payne's gray, which is a dark blue gray. Use Davies gray, which is a dark green gray. Purples are a good shadow color. Good highlight colors are orange, cadmium red, any of your yellows. Just think outside the box, and I think you'll be happier with the results that you get.
I can't believe how much shadow definition and realism you get with watercolors. I wish, practice, practice.
Practice. That's all it is practice, because when I first started, I never took a watercolor class. I just started painting with them. To this day, I haven't taken a proper watercolor class. That might shock some people. Or not.
I don't know if we can follow you then, Gina. How dare you?
Sorry. I just started painting, and I was working at a gift shop where it was one of these artist cooperative shops. And I was, besides being an artist, I was a cashier. And, it was a mom and pop shop. So we were either swamped or dead as a doornail. And I wanted to I'm not the kind of person to sit still for long. So I wanted something to do at the desk that I could do that was maybe creative, that the customers, when they were there, might find interesting. So I went and got a cheap set of Art District watercolors and some paper. And I just started playing, and I did not take a class. I just started playing with colors. I had just barely learned what an ATC was at that time. This was like 2007, 2008.
Practice, practice, practice.
That's all it is. It's just practice. I mean, I've read some books since then, but I've never like taken a proper class from anybody on watercolor.
Do you have any of your very first early watercolor paintings?
Yes. I can go grab. I have that. Yes, I can go grab the book.
I'm talking like
so there. Let me go. Yeah, let me go grab that right away. Right now. I know exactly where it is, but there's that. I would probably stop here because I like the way that looks. Hold on a second.
Minnie Savage is making brownies. You gonna send me some? No frosting. I'm not a frosting person. It's funny because when I bake a cake, I don't frost it. So I just bake the cake and then I hand my husband the container of frosting. I'm like, you put what you want on your pieces because I'm just not a huge frosting fan. Right, Elizabeth? I love the way she does this definition and the, she just does a beautiful job. Chewy ones, you're right, Terry, chewy ones. Eve, you can have the frosting. You sound like my husband. I don't know, it kills the taste of the cake. I like just plain old cake. It's nummy. So for some reason, I've been inspired to make myself a painted paper journal. Hi, Kathy. Gina will be back in a minute. So I'm working on, I normally do my painted papers only on one side. I'm not sure why. But right now I decided to start working on them and getting both sides done so I can make myself a journal.
There might be some in one of these. Let's look. I gotta zoom out. They're big. Old portfolios. I don't think this huge one has any in it. These aren't watercolor. This is mixed media. There you go. Ugly faces. We don't all start out doing. These are some of the ones I did on my very first YouTube video. Painted paper. See, if I make a copy of it and I think I'm going to want to sell the copies or reproduce the I save the original, which is always smart. See, so you've seen some of these, like I've even sent you all some copies of some of these. I started cutting this one and thought, wait, I should make a copy of that.
Kristen's just a cake girl too. Yeah, you go, girl.
She's gonna what?
We were talking about cake and how I don't
cake.
frosting. And I usually, when I bake cake, I just leave the frosting off.
Yeah.
And Eve says she takes all the frosting, and Kristen says she's just a cake girl too.
I really like gelato and ice cream. Like, I like candy, but I like ice cream.
I'm watching it the way they are on the YouTube, you know, the waxed version.
Yeah. If they're not in here, I know I've got some of the first ATC cards. Actually, I found the ATC cards the other day.
Whoa, back up. I'm looking at the other version. Never mind.
Okay. I haven't seen any watercolors yet. I know they're around here somewhere. I have copies of all of them. Of course I do.
Glare. Heather, she's looking for certain watercolor ones. That's why she's not worried about the glare. She's just looking for color.
There's a lot of glare here because of it's a portfolio. But hang on. I got artwork all over the house, you guys. I have so much of it. So who remembers these?
Elizabeth, just it really depends on what type of printer it is printed out on. Elizabeth asked, if you make a copy of your painted paper, can the recipient use it with matte medium on it, or will it run? And I can't remember off the top of my head which one Gina will run.
A desk jet or inkjet printer will run, a laser jet will not. So generally speaking, if I'm going to sell you an actual copy of one of my old backgrounds, then I will usually go have it printed at Staples so that it's a nice copy. Okay, now we need to zoom in because these are little. So I'm going to zoom in as far as I can. And here's one of my, where are we? There we are. That's one of my original watercolor ATC cards. I'm going to pull them out of the plastic because there'll be too much glare otherwise.
Kathy wants to know what that round thing is.
That's a 7 Gypsies ATC card holder. I don't think they make anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we do either.
So these, look at these. These are old. These are literally, these are the ones I did at the front desk at the gift shop. And this is from 2008. These are my first watercolors, and these are watercolored on drawing paper, which FYI, don't do. It's not great paper to work on, and you have a lot of problems with it pilling, and it doesn't hold the water well. These are just what I called at the time. I still call these are just watercolor doodles.
But you know what, Gina? If somebody is just playing around and doesn't want to spend the money or can't afford to put the money on proper watercolor paper, it will work to do it on the drawing paper.
It'll work. I used that for years. I just used paper from the dollar store. Now this is the reproduction of a larger watercolor piece that I put on an ATC card. I also did just some like these. This is one that I was telling Cindy and Jerry about recently. This is done with, make sure I'm on camera. So this is done with acrylic medium, some kind of acrylic medium like GAC. Okay. And then you mix some Pearl X powder in it, and you literally glob it onto your card, and then you heat it with your heat set tool, and all these big bumpy bits are bubbles in the that come up in the GAC.
Oh, that's cool.
2008. Yeah, mixed media will work too. These are old. So you guys, I wanted to make sure we found some of these because I want to show you. You don't have to. This is, I mean, I don't know why I put glitter on that, but. I'm looking to see what else I have. This is a lot of like early work of mine. Here's one that's, I just did a little bit of watercolor around the edge, but then it's just collaged. I had just learned about ATC cards this is 2007. I used to trade ATC cards. I don't really do that anymore, but looking to see what else is in here. I found this the other day. It was like hiding in plain sight, you know. Walk by it every day. I forgot it was over there.
It's funny. I used to do a lot of the trades and swaps and all that stuff too. And it just got to the point where everything I was making left. Yeah. And I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, I don't mind, you know, doing happy mails and that kind of thing. But like I said, it was to the point where it didn't matter what I made, it was going out the door. And that was just driving me crazy.
So by contrast, here's one I did in 2014. This might have been a swap that we did over at KIF. So this is one of the first ones. This is one of the latest ones. And this is watercolor and acrylic.
Kathy says 10 years ago, time flies.
I know, right? Yeah, you don't realize that, I used to tell people, oh, I haven't been doing mixed media that long, only a few years. And then I caught myself one day and went, wait, I found these cards and I went, okay, I've been doing mixed media since 2007. That's a long time. Before that, I literally was just a seamstress and I did a lot of sewing and Christmas ornaments and.
Oh, speaking of sewing, guess what? My machine works, Gina. Stopped having temper tantrums.
Yay!
Can you believe it?
I told you, if you're having trouble, just unthread it.
That thing is
rethread it.
Insane.
9 times out of 10, it's how it's threaded. So these are some of I did a lot of these coffee cups. This is one of the first designs I came out with. These coffee cups, I did a lot of them. And this was reprinted on tote bags and t-shirts and all kinds of things.
That's really cool, though. Do you have any of those that you had them printed on?
No, but I still have the artwork loaded up to Cafe Press, and I can get it printed on things.
I was just, I'm just saying for your own, memory or.
No, it's so funny,
you call it.
No, I didn't keep any. I didn't keep any. It's so weird. And I've always had a thing for hands. So, my latest Hamsa stamp set, I've always had a thing for hands. So this is one of my first hand doodles. And I always made sure when I did an ATC card swap with somebody that I kept one. I would make a limited run of the same design, and then I would make sure I kept one.
Right. I'm having fun.
So yeah, you guys don't have to feel like you can't watercolor because you don't know how. I didn't either when I started. Yeah, so use what you can get, use what you can afford. I started out using drawing paper. I didn't even know what mixed media paper was.
See you later, Dee.
And I got my paper at the dollar store. And my paints were from Art District. They were an Art District, which is a very cheap student set. And I think I got it with a 40% off coupon at either Michael's or Aaron Brothers. Alrighty. So here's our flower today, and there's some art share. So I hope it gives you guys some inspiration to just try and just play. You don't have to, be proficient at it. The only way to get better is to just play. I do really like this. It's turned out really cute.
You did a great job as always, Gina.
Thank you. All right, I have a meeting with a product developer, which is really weird. They called me. I don't know what they want from me, but I'll let you all know if and when I can. I don't know what it is about, but I'm wearing my tie-dye and I'm not putting on any makeup. I don't care. We're meeting at the coffee shop, so it's all good. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, there's no shortcut. It's just practice. I used to just watercolor at the desk all the time on these little ATC cards. I would cut the paper up into small bits and I would just work on these doodles. Sometimes I would bring a bigger pad with me and I would just play with the paints. I got a cheap student set that was something that was a little better than Crayola, but it was an inexpensive set. And it did have limited colors, which in retrospect was a good thing, because I had to mix colors and I had to learn how to mix colors. I didn't always mix them correctly, but I had to figure out how to mix colors, and that was a good thing. And I always used, and I still love to use, one of these. So I had my cheap set of watercolors, some drawing paper, and a General's layout pencil, extra black.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say we couldn't see it.
There we go. And I still love this pencil, but I did all the drawings with the General's layout pencil, which is not waterproof, and it does bleed a little bit with the watercolor paint, which I really liked, and I moved that around to create some of the shadows. That's a good idea, Gerda. Thank you so much, Muriel. Sorry, now you're craving frosting, Eve. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm supposed to have this meeting at Starbucks. If I get out of there without ordering a pastry, I'm gonna be lucky.
If you get out without ordering a pastry, you're crazy.
Well, I'm not a huge, I don't have to have like tons of sweets or anything, but I love bread.
Oh yeah, that's a huge downfall for me.
Right? I am noticing on our little painting here that I want to do this a little bit on the stem. Let's see.
I'm happy when I'm singing. Eve says she runs on sugar. I used to run on Diet Coke.
I have a thing for flavored water. It's my mother's fault.
When I worked, I lived on Diet Coke. I think I had it hooked up as an IV.
For me, it was coffee. I used to drink like 2 pots of coffee a day. Now I'm lucky. If I just do 2 cups, then that's a good day. Most of the time, I usually have 3.
You know what's funny is I never drank coffee until a certain company that we won't mention that I worked at went on strike. And I was in management and had to work 16 hours a day. I learned to love coffee.
Yeah. I have always done some kind of job like working as a merchandiser for American Greetings, which I loved and do miss. I loved working as a merchandiser and helping people. So that was fun. But my hours were crazy. So I had to be on site at accounts sometimes at 5:30 in the morning or earlier. And I'm not a morning person, so coffee. I, in the past, have worked as a wafer fab for National Semiconductor Graveyard. That wasn't a fun shift. So I had to stay awake drinking a lot of coffee.
So you can see where your addiction came from is all the
job, always on the job. One of my first jobs outside of, crafting, which was my only skill out of high school, was picking and placing capacitors onto key cards for Schlage Electronics. And that, again, was a job that started at, like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I drank a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it was funny because it was one of the mornings that we were headed, myself and another manager, we were heading into work, and I was dead on my feet. And he was like, man, you got to wake up. I'm like, you know what? He's like, we're stopping at the coffee shop. So we stopped at one of those drive-through coffee places here in upstate New York. And we stopped in, and he's like, well, what do you like? And I'm like, I don't drink coffee. So I think he got me a latte, and I got the biggest one I could get, and from then I was hooked.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It's not, coffee is my thing. So I also love bread and dairy. So God forbid I should ever have issues with dairy or wheat or anything. I'm in big trouble.
Right. I think my hubs came in.
All right. I am going to see you all later. I am going to try not to have a 4th cup of coffee today.
All right. I'm sure I'll
go to my meeting
soon, Gina.
All right. I will talk to you all later. I want you all to just practice and have fun with whatever art creative thing you're doing, whether it's watercolor or whatever else. Doesn't matter. Just have fun with it and practice and play. If you're not a member of My Year 2017 or my other Facebook group or Cindy's and you want to be, you can message us. The link to my 2 groups are in the description below. I can get Cindy's in there too. If you want to send me happy mail or email me about something, all of that stuff and more is in the description. So check it out. And the most important thing, of course, is to go out and have a great day. Do something nice for yourself because you deserve it.
And
I'll see you later.
And have fun, because that's what life's all about.
There you go. Life's too short not to have fun.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.